Friends, we are studying MMPC 016 International Business Management, Block 3 Strategies of International Business. Unit 9 is Strategic Alliances. Strategic alliances are voluntary agreements between two or more firms. You see, if two or more firms they join together and do some voluntary agreement, then strategic alliance takes place to share the capabilities. Suppose you see there are capable people in both the firms, so they will share capabilities, resources. You see, they will share the resources. They will share the expertise with the aim of enhancing competitive advantages or achieving mutually beneficial business objectives. These alliances can be local, you see, or international, global, depending on the expansion and diversification plans of the organizations involved. You see, when those two firms will join together and do further, you see, development, it depends, you see what product they are manufacturing. They are particularly common in industries like auto components, you see, then textiles is another, you see, industry, then food processing. These three are the examples. You see, auto components, car components, you see, two-wheeler components, then parts, spare parts, then textiles, shirting, you see, material of trousers, etc., and food processing. So strategic alliances are voluntary agreements between two or more firms to share capabilities. They will share the capabilities, they will share the resources, they will share the, you see, expertization of each. And what is the aim? The aim of strategic alliances, you see, advantages, competitive advantages, or achieving mutually beneficial business, you see, objectives. The objectives of both they will try to achieve. These alliances can be, you see, local, you see, within the nation, you see, these alliances can take place, or you see, from one country, one party is in one country, another party is in another country, or global, depending on the expansion, how you are going to expand, how you are going to diversify, you see, the plans of the organizations involved. They are particularly common in industries like, you see, auto components, textiles, and food processing. A notable example is the collaboration between Maruti, Government of India, Maruti is, you see, our car, and Suzuki Motor Company, which successfully combined resources to dominate the Indian automotive market. You see, Maruti Suzuki, this car is, you see, it is having the maximum sale. Once upon a time, there was a time in 1996, 97, you see, 95% of the people used to go for, you see, Maruti Suzuki car. So another example is BrahMos, you see, missile system, a result of the strategic alliance between India and Russia. Both these countries, you know, they joined, which has provided significant strategic and business gains for both nations. So the examples of strategic alliance are, you see, a notable example is the collaboration between Maruti, Government of India, and Suzuki Motor Company, which successfully combined resources to dominate the Indian automobile market. Another example is BrahMos missile system, a result of the strategic alliance between India and Russia, which has provided significant strategic and business gains for both nations. What is the need for strategic alliance? The need for strategic alliance arises from, you see, various factors. There are various factors, including number one is risk sharing. Number two is economies of scale. If you produce in large, you see, scale, the cost price is going to reduce. Then, you see, if you can't take the risk alone, if somebody joins with you, you can take the risk. Both of you can take the risk. Speed of action, then learning new skills, exploring new business opportunities, and assessing restricted markets. You see, the markets which were restricted, now you can reach to those, you see, markets also. For instance, Apollo Hospitals alliance with Kenyatta National Hospital and Airtel Africa in Kenya exemplifies risk sharing and market expansion. So the need for strategic alliances arises from various factors, including risk sharing, economies of scale, speed of action, learning of new skills, exploring new business opportunities, and assessing restricted markets. Example is Apollo Hospitals alliance with Kenyatta National Hospital and Airtel Africa in Kenya exemplifies risk sharing and market expansion. Strategic alliances are defined as voluntary agreements, you see, between firms for exchanging, sharing, or co-developing products, technologies, or services. You see, exchanging, sharing, or co-developing products, technologies, or services. These alliances are business-oriented collaborations. You see, they are together for doing the business, aimed at gaining competitive advantages and extending ownership solutions. They can be broadly categorized, you see, into two types. So, strategic alliances are defined as voluntary agreements between firms for exchanging, sharing, or co-developing products, technologies, or services. These alliances are business-oriented collaborations aimed at gaining competitive advantages and extending ownership solutions. They can be broadly categorized into two types. Contractual alliance, these include co-marketing, research and development, contracts, turkey projects, strategic suppliers, strategic distributors, and licensing, franchising. These alliances require lower commitments and have a limited scope. So, contractual alliances include co-marketing, research and development contracts, turkey projects, strategic suppliers, strategic distributors, and licensing, franchising. These alliances require lower commitments and have a limited scope. Equity-based alliances, these involve higher commitments and include strategic investments, cross-shareholding, and joint ventures. An example is the joint venture between Rolls-Royce and Hindustan Aeronautics Limited to manufacture parts for Adore engines under India's Make in India program. You see, we are having a Make in India program. Our Prime Minister is, you see, very much, you see, after this program. And you see, he wants that we should use, you see, our Indian made, you see, goods only. So, strategic alliances, equity-based alliances, these involve higher commitments and include strategic investments, cross-shareholding, and joint ventures. The example is joint venture between Rolls-Royce and Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. We call it HAL, to manufacture parts of Adore engines under India's Make in India program. Three key considerations that influence are industry-based view, resource-based view, institution-based view. Industry-based view focuses on collaboration among rivals, entry barriers, and vertical alliances with suppliers or buyers. Resource-based view emphasizes the value, rarity, imitability, and organizational framework to assess the potential of alliances, you see. Now, value, V, rarity, R, imitability, I, and organization, O. So we call it in short VRIO. Third one is institution-based view. Considers formal regulatory frameworks and informal norms that shape alliance formation and operation. So the three key considerations which influence strategic, you see, industry-based view, second, resource-based view, third, institution-based view. So industry-based view focuses on collaboration among rivals, entry barriers, and vertical alliances with suppliers or buyers. Resource-based view emphasizes the value, rarity, immutability, and organization framework to assess the potential of alliances. Institution-based view considers formal regulatory frameworks and informal norms that shape alliance formation and operation. Now, types of strategic alliances, you see. First type is coalition, you see. An alliance of competitors, distributors, and suppliers in the same industry, pooling resources to gain a better hold of global markets. For example, the Star Alliance network in the airlines industry. Co-specialization, partners contribute unique assets or competencies to develop new products or technologies. An example is the collaboration between India and Japan to co-develop fifth and sixth generation communication technologies. So the types of strategic alliances are coalition, first type, second type is co-specialization. In coalition, we see an alliance of competitors, distributors, and suppliers in the same industry, pooling resources to gain a better hold of global markets. For example, the Star Alliance network in the airlines industry. Co-specialization, partners contribute unique assets or competencies, you see, to develop new products or technologies, you see. An example is the collaboration between India and Japan to co-develop fifth and sixth generation communication, you see, technologies. Next, you see, type is learning alliance, third type. Fourth type is equity alliances. In learning alliance, formed for know-how transfers, particularly knowledge sharing. For instance, Honda's investment in General Motors, you see, autonomous vehicle unit, cruise automation aimed at learning futuristic technologies, equity alliances, joint ventures, you see, where firms pool resources in a separate, jointly owned organizations. So in this slide, we studied, you see, learning alliance and equity alliances. So learning alliance, it is formed for know-how transfers, particularly knowledge sharing. The example is Honda's investment in General Motors, autonomous vehicle unit, cruise automation aimed at learning futuristic technologies. Next is equity alliances, joint ventures where firms pool resources in a separate jointly owned organization. Next type is minority equity alliances, you see, and non-equity alliances. So minority equity alliances, one partner makes a minority investment in another, often seen in high-tech industries like telecommunications and biotechnology. Non-equity alliances include licensing, joint research and development department, and joint marketing efforts without equity exchange. So we have studied, you see, minority equity alliance and non-equity alliance. So in minority equity alliance, one partner makes a minority investment in another, often seen in high-tech industries like telecommunications and biotechnology. Non-equity alliances include licensing, joint research and development, and joint marketing efforts without equity exchange. Strategic value of alliances. The strategic value of alliances lies in their ability to create and capture value for the partners involved. The value created by an alliance can be assessed through revenues generated, you see, from sales. What is the income? What is the, amount of sales, volume, or differentiated pricing, future revenues or cost benefit from joint research and development. What are going to be the anticipated revenues, future, predictions. Then economies of scale, and scope, when they are manufacturing in large quantity. So how much cost price is going to reduce? So value of alliances, the strategic value of alliances lies in their ability to create and capture value for the partners involved. The value created by an alliance can be assessed, can be judged, can be found out by revenues generated, from sales, from the sales, what are the revenues generated, or differentiated pricing, future revenues or cost benefits from joint research and development. Then third point is economies of scale, and scope. Now, resource-based considerations, then industry-based considerations. Under resource-based considerations, there is value added most outweigh cost, rarity of relational capabilities and desirable partners, immutability of firm-specific and relationship-specific capabilities, organization of alliance activities at the firm and relationship levels. In industry-based considerations, collaboration among rivals, entry barriers scaled by alliances, upstream, downstream, vertical alliance with survivors, buyers, alliances, and networks to provide substitute, products, services. Now, strategic alliances and networks, formation, evolution, performance. The next is institution-based considerations, formal regulatory pillar, then informal normative pillar, then informal cognitive pillar. Now, alliance management. Effective alliance management involves 5 key stages, The first stage is partner assessment. Second is contract negotiation. Third is alliance operation. Fourth is alliance termination. Fifth is implementation and management. So first is partner assessment, analyzing potential partners. Which are potential partners, which can be taken. Analyzing potential partners' strengths, weaknesses, and strategic, compatibility. Next is contract negotiation, defining objectives, contributions, and legal structures. Next one is alliance operation, ensuring senior management commitment and resource allocation. Next is fourth one is alliance termination, winding up the alliance upon meeting or failing, objectives. If the objectives are not reached, not fulfilled, and not received, then terminating alliance. Next is implementation and management, addressing integration, cooperation, and learning. So effective alliance management involves 5 key stages. The first one is partner assessment, analyzing potential partners' strengths. What are the strengths of potential partners, their weaknesses, and their strategic capability. Next is contract negotiation, defining objectives, contributions, and legal structures. Third one is alliance operation, ensuring senior management commitment and resource allocation. Fourth one is alliance termination, winding up the alliance upon meeting or failing objectives. Fifth one is intermediation and management, addressing integration, cooperation, and learning. Now, partner analysis. Partner analysis is critical and includes strategic fit, capabilities fit, cultural fit, organizational fit. So, partners analysis is critical and it includes strategic fit, capabilities fit, cultural fit, organizational fit. Strategic fit, compatibility of partners' objectives, then capabilities fit, complementary resources and value chain contributions. Cultural fit, alignment of corporate, industry, and national cultures. Organizational fit, compatibility of structures, systems, and procedures. So partner analysis is critical and includes strategic fit, capabilities fit, cultural fit, and organizational fit. Next is negotiation and design. It involves legal structures and decision-making mechanisms, task integration and HR issues, value distribution and conflict resolution mechanisms. Implementation focuses on integration, cooperation, and learning. You see, at the time of implementation, you have to focus on integration, you have to focus on cooperation, and you have to focus on learning. Partners can learn about the business, tasks, and each other's expectations and capabilities, which is vital for long-term success. So, under alliance management, we will see negotiation and design, we will see implementation. Under negotiation and design, it involves legal structures and decision-making mechanisms. It involves, you see, task integration and human resource issues. It involves value distribution and conflict resolution, you see, mechanisms. When there is a conflict, how to resolve that. Next, you see, is implementation. Implementation focuses on integration, cooperation, and learning. Partners can learn about the business, tasks, and each other's expectations and capabilities, which is vital for long-term success. Now, strategic alliances differ from mergers and acquisitions in that they involve collaboration without loss of strategic autonomy. They are essential for firms entering new markets or industries offering benefits like risk sharing, cost reduction, and access to new technologies. The success of an alliance depends on factors such as strategic fit, cultural alignment, and effective management. So strategic alliances differ from mergers and acquisitions. Mergers, you see, for example, in our country, these banks are merging. Government, you see, now after computerization, all government banks, they want to make a big bank. By merging, you see, 3, 4 banks in one bank. For example, in Punjab National Bank, New Bank of India, Oriental Bank of Commerce, some banks merged. In Canara Bank, Syndicate Bank, you see, merged. In Indian Bank, Allahabad Bank, you see, merged. That is, you see, mergers. And acquisitions, when you acquire, you see, that particular industry. So strategic alliances differ from mergers and acquisition in that they involve collaboration without loss of strategic autonomy. You see, both the firms will remain autonomous. They are essential for firms entering new markets or industries, offering benefits like risk sharing, cost reduction. When the scale of production, you see, large scale of production, your cost will reduce, and access to new technologies. You see, when two firms will join, naturally some new technology will come. The success of an alliance depends on factors such as, you see, strategic fit, cultural alignment, and effective management. Now we come on the, you see, unit 10, that is international, you see, marketing. International marketing involves, you see, the exchange of goods, services, and ideas across national borders. You see, you are selling goods from India to, you see, America. Say 10,000 shirts you have sold there, you exported. So, adapting marketing principles to diverse global markets. You see, unlike domestic marketing, it requires understanding economic, socio-cultural, technological, and legal differences between countries. The shift toward globalization has made international marketing, you see, essential. With production moving to low cost, you see, centers like China and India, leading to the internationalization of supply chains. You see, now, for example, now Taiwan, they are having, they make shoe soles. There, the cost, it comes to be very cheaper. You see, they are making it cheap and they are exporting. Now, suppose in India, a shoemaker, he buys the soles from Taiwan, he, you see, imports soles, and then top portion of the shoe he is making in India, because leather is in abundance here. So now the cost of the shoe, full shoe, will be come out to be cheaper than, rather than if he would have made sole here only. So international marketing involves the exchange of goods, services, and ideas across national borders. You see, adopting marketing principles to diverse global markets. Unlike domestic marketing, it requires understanding economic, socio-cultural, technological, and legal differences between countries. The shift toward globalization has made international marketing essential, with production moving to low-cost centers like China and India, leading to the internationalization of supply chains. Now, key drivers of international marketing. Which are the key drivers of international marketing? Liberalization of markets, you see, reduced trade barriers. You can buy anything from anywhere, you see. Then tax advantages, you see. That is firms setting up in tax, you see, havens like Singapore. Then free trade agreements, you see. Then growth in market share, you see, expanding beyond saturated domestic markets. Then you see, naturally, you see, if you are exporting, you see, technology and communication, e-commerce and digital platforms. You see, next is cultural exchanges. Indian products in Gulf countries due to, you see, diaspora. Then improved logistics. You see, faster, cheaper shipping. You see, now there is a lot of improvement in this. You see, transport of goods. So the key drivers are liberalization of markets. Then there are tax advantages. Then free trade agreements are there. Then growth in market share, then technology and communication, then cultural exchanges, then improved logistics. These, you see, 7, you see, key drivers of international marketing are there. Liberalization of markets, tax advantages, free trade agreements, growth in market share, technology and communication, cultural exchanges, improved logistics. The next 4 are, you see, technological disruptions, e-commerce and competition. Then global competition, local versus global brands, consumer expectations, demand for quality, customization, you see, regulatory complexities, trade laws and tariffs. So total we have, you see, now in this total challenges are, you see, this technological disruptions, global competition, consumer expectations and regulatory complexities. And drivers, key drivers are liberalization of markets, tax advantages, free trade agreements, growth in market share, technology and communication, cultural exchanges, improved logistics. And challenges are technological disruptions. You see, technology, some countries may not be advanced. Then global competition is there. Consumer expectations are more easy. Then regulatory, you see, complexities are there, laws, etc., tariffs, laws. Now, international versus, you see, domestic market, you know, domestic buying and selling within one country. International, you see, buying from another country, selling to another country. So domestic, a company selling tea in India focuses on local tastes, you see. Local company, domestic, you see, company which is selling in, you see, in our country only, India, that will see the taste of all the, you see, communities in India, and accordingly it will prepare. The international, the same company modifies flavors for the British or Middle Eastern markets. You see, when you see they are selling tea to British people, they will, you see, modify the flavor. You see, accordingly they will, you see, produce. Now, key differences, you see, between domestic marketing and international marketing are market segmentation. In domestic market, you see, segment is single market with sub-segments. The international marketing, multiple markets with varying sub-segments. Market control in domestic marketing, it is easier due to uniform regulations. There are, you see, the regulations of one country only, they have to follow. International marketing, complex due to cultural, legal and political differences. They have to follow the, you see, regulations of other countries also. Then product adoption in domestic marketing, standardized for local preferences. You see, international marketing, it requires customization. That is McDonald's, you see, menus. Next is, you see, pricing strategy. You see, domestic marketing based on local competition and costs. You see, pricing will be depending on them. And in international marketing pricing will depend. It will be influenced by exchange rates. You see, what is the price of dollar, how many rupees. Then tariffs, you see, and purchasing power. Then promotion, you see, in domestic marketing, single message for the entire market, you see, is delivered. In international marketing, culturality, tailored you see campaigns are there. That is Coca-Cola's, you see regional ads. Now distribution, well-established logistics within the country. You see these trucks and all that. Say for example in India, lorry transport. You see you can send the goods. But in international marketing requires local partnerships. That is Amazon's global, you see, supply chain. So the differences we have studied, you see, between domestic marketing and you see international marketing. Now next is reasons for entering international markets. Why people enter international market, you see. Because everybody wants to rise, you see, everybody wants to expand, everybody wants to make more profit, increase the profit. So firms expand globally for number one is profitability, number two is growth, number three is economies of scale, number fourth is risk diversification, number fifth is access to resources, number six is product life cycle, you see, extension. So under profitability, firms expand globally for, you see, profitability, higher revenue from untapped markets, you see, where they think that more sale can take place, they will catch that market. So growth, emerging markets, that is Asia, Africa, offer expansion opportunities. Of economies of scale, large scale production, cost price will reduce. Large production reduces per unit cost. Risk diversification, risk will be diversified. Reduces dependence on a single economy. Access to, you see, resources, you see, cheaper raw materials or skilled labor you can get. Then product life cycle extension. A declining product in one market may thrive in another, you see, market. You are unable to sell in one country, you can sell it in another country. Now, EPRG framework, international market, you see, orientation on description, and then example, you see, ethnocentric, you see, home market strategies applied globally with minimum, you see, adaptation. Patanjali selling Ayurveda products, example is globally without major, you see, changes. Same product they are selling all over the world. Then polycentric, you see, tailored strategies for each country. Apollo hospitals customizing services for Middle East, Africa. Region-centric strategies designed for a group of similar countries, that is, you see, Asian countries. Then Mahindra setting up regional hubs in Africa and the United States. Then geocentric, truly global approach with standardized yet locally adaptable, you see, strategies. Unilever, you see, Hindustan Lever, Unilever. Global strategy, you see, global brands, you see, local flavors. Now, modes of entry into international market. How can we enter, you see, international market? You see, the first mode is, you see, export-import. Basic trade, that is Coromandel International Exporting Pesticides. Their subsidiaries, fully owned foreign operations. You can open a subsidiary there. Coca-Cola India, for example. We are having a Coca-Cola India. Joint ventures, you see, shared ownership, that is BrahMos, Aerospace, India and Russia. Franchising, local partners run operations, that is McDonald's. Then licensing, allowing foreign firms to use, you see, IP. That is Mahindra Renault, you see, partnership, car partnership. Then strategic alliances, collaboration without equity, you see. That is TVS, BMW for electric bikes. And next is greenfield operations, building from scratch, you see. That is Samsung's, you see, Noida plant. Samsung is having a plant in Noida. So modes of entry are, 7 modes of entry are there in international markets. The first mode is export-import. Basic trade, that is Coromandel, you see, International Exporting Pesticides. Subsidiaries, fully owned foreign operations, that is Coca-Cola India. Joint ventures, shared ownership, that is BrahMos, Aerospace, India and Russia. Franchising, you see, local partners run operations, that is McDonald's. Licensing, allowing foreign firms to use, you see, IP, that is Mahindra Renault partnership. Strategic alliances, collaboration without, you see, equity, that is TVS, BMW for electric bikes. Next is greenfield, you see, operations, building from scratch, that is Samsung's, you see, Noida plant. Now, international consumer behavior. Consumer behavior varies due to cultural factors, that is religion, traditions, economic conditions, that is purchasing power, inflation, legal and political environment, that is trade laws, stability, then technology and infrastructure, e-commerce, penetration, logistics. So consumer behavior varies due to, you see, cultural factors, economic conditions, legal and political environment, technology and infrastructure. Selecting international markets and distribution channels, you see, market selection criteria is economic growth rate, political stability. You see, suppose you will not do business with Pakistan, you know there that is not politically stable country. Then competition, legal barriers. Example is a tech firm, technology firm may prioritize the United States and EU over restrictive, you see, markets. Selecting international markets and distribution, you see, channels, distribution channels, export consortia, group of firms collaborating, you see, that is Textile Exporters Alliance. Next is canalizing agencies, government designated exporters, that is MMTC, you see, for metals. MMTC, they are selling these gold coins. Then merchant, you see, exporters, third party traders. The direct exports selling straight to foreign buyers, you see, higher profits, more risk is there, you see. Overseas sales agents, you see, local representatives handling, you see, sales. So selecting international markets and distribution channels, channels are, you see, export consortia, group of firms collaborating, that is Textile Exporters Alliance. Next is canalizing agencies, government designated, you see, exporters, that is MMTC for metals. It's a government company, MMTC. Then merchant exporters, third party traders, then direct exports selling straight to foreign buyers, higher profits, more risk. Next is overseas sales agents, you see, local representatives, you see, handling sales. Now, steps for successful exporting. You see, what are the steps? The steps are, you see, obtain import-export code, register with, you see, Export Promotion Council, identify, you see, buyers, negotiate contracts, arrange logistics, then customs clearance, then documentation, payment realization, then claim export benefits. So there are, you see, 9 steps for successful exporting. The first step is, you see, obtain import-export code, import exporters code from DGFT, then register with Export Promotion Council, that is April Export Promotion Council, then identify buyers, trade fairs, directories, digital platforms like Google, etc. Then negotiate contracts, you see, you have to negotiate pricing into Incoterms like free on board or cost insurance freight, arrange logistics, shipping, then insurance, then customs clearing, shipping bill of lading, then documentation, commercial invoice, certificate of origin, payment relation, you see, letter of credit, whether is obtained or not, bank relation, you see, then certificate, then claim export benefits. You see, every country gives export benefits also. If we are doing export from our country, we are sending goods to, selling goods to other, you see, country, we are getting foreign currency. So we are earning foreign currency for the country. So our country will give us some, you see, benefits. Now, international marketing requires adapting to diverse markets. Firms enter global markets for growth, risk, diversification, and economies of scale. First is they enter for growth, you see. Second thing is risk is diversified, you see. Risk is reduced. Risk is transferred to, you see, other, you see, places. And next is, you see, if you manufacture in large quantities, the cost price will, you see, reduce. That is economies of scale. Entry strategies range from, you see, exports to JVS and subsidiaries. Consumer behavior is shaped by culture, economy, and regulations. Successful exporting, you see, involves meticulous planning, documentation, and compliance. You see, from our country, there are so many, you see, this shirt cloth, you see, manufacturers, ready-made shirts, they are exporting to US, other parts of the nation or country also. Next, now we come on, you see, next unit, that is international finance, money, you see, international finance, that is, it is very important, you see. Now, international finance is a critical field that examines the dynamics of exchange rates. You see, dollar, what is the, you see, how much rupee we have to, you see, spend for buying a dollar. Foreign investment, you see, we invest in foreign companies and their impact on global trade. It encompasses, you see, various aspects such as, you see, exchange rate mechanism, capital flows, trade deficits and surpluses, and financial instruments like forwards, you see, futures and swaps. You see, these are financial instruments. So international finance is a critical field that examines the dynamics of exchange rates, foreign investment, and their impact on global, you see, trade. It encompasses, you see, various aspects such as exchange rate mechanisms, capital flows, trade deficits and surpluses, and financial instruments like forwards, futures, swaps. Now, key drivers of globalization in finance are, you see, what are the key drivers? Reduce trade barriers, you see, tariffs, quotas. Technological advancements, digital banking, blockchain. Integration of, you see, financial markets, that is cross-border mergers. These three, you see, encourage us to do, you see, more and more exports. So the key drivers of globalization in finance are reduced trade barriers, that is tariffs and quotas, technological advancements, that is digital banking, blockchain. Third one is integration of financial markets, that is cross-border and mergers. Now, global financial system. We have studied, you see, Indian financial system. Now, global financial system. The global financial system consists of institutions that regulate and facilitate cross-border financial transactions. You see, key players include the International Monetary Fund (IMF), which provides loans to stabilize economies and monitors global financial stability, as seen during Greece's 2008, you see, crisis. So the global financial system consists of institutions that regulate and facilitate cross-border financial transactions. Key drivers include the International Monetary Fund (IMF), which provides loans to stabilize economies and, you see, monitors global financial stability, as seen during Greece's 2008 crisis. Next is the World Bank. You see, the World Bank funds development projects such as infrastructure in Africa, while the World Trade Organization's WTO ensures fair trade practices and resolve disputes, like the US, EU, Airbus, you see, subsidized, you see, case. A notable tool in this system is the International Monetary Fund Special Drawing Rights, SDRS, which act as a reserve currency for member nations, providing liquidity during, you see, economic crisis. So the World Bank funds development projects even in our country also. Many projects which are financed by World Bank are usually going on, such as infrastructure in Africa, while the World Trade Organization WTO ensures fair trade practices. So World Bank is financing and World Trade Organization is ensuring fair trade practices and resolves disputes. It resolves disputes like the US, EU, Airbus subsidies case. A notable tool in this system is the International Monetary Fund Special Drawing Rights, SDRS, which act as a reserve currency for member, you see, nations, providing liquidity during economic crisis. If there are economic crises, then they provide the money, provides the liquidity. International monetary system. The international monetary system has evolved significantly over time. The classic gold standard, you see earlier, 1821 to 1914, pegged currencies to gold, ensuring stability but limiting, money supply and causing, uh, deflation. You see how they used to do it earlier. 10-gram gold is equal to, suppose so much currency of this country, and 10-gram gold is equal to so much currency of another country. So both those currencies used to equate, and they used to find out the value of the currency. So the Bretton Woods system replaced this by pegging the US, dollar to gold and other currencies to the US dollar. However, it collapsed due to US inflation from the Vietnam War and resistance from countries like Japan to USD depreciation. So the international monetary system has evolved significantly over time. The classic gold standard, pegged currencies to gold, ensuring stability but limiting money supply and causing deflation. The Bretton Woods system replaced this by pegging the US dollar to gold and other currencies to the US dollar. However, it collapsed due to US inflation from the Vietnam War and resistance from countries like Japan to US dollar depreciation. Since 1971, the world has operated upon a floating exchange rate system where currency, values fluctuate based on market forces. This era has witnessed crises like the 1997 Asian financial crisis, currency devaluations, and the 2008 subprime crisis, global liquidity crunch, highlighting the need for robust monetary policies. So, from 1971, the world has operated upon a floating exchange rate system where currency values fluctuate based on market forces. This era has witnessed crises like the 1997 Asian financial crisis, currency devaluations, and the 2008 subprime crisis, global liquidity crunch, highlighting the need for robust, monetary policies. International flow of funds and balance of payments, The balance of payment, BOP, is a comprehensive record of a country's economic transactions with the world. It includes a trade account, goods, export, import, current account, services, remittances, capital account, FDI, loans, and financial account, changes in reserves. So the balance of payment, we are discussing balance of payments. It is a comprehensive record of country's economic transactions with the rest of the world. In this, there is a trade account, which is of goods, exports, imports. Then there is current account in this, services and remittances. It is having services, and remittances recording. Then capital account, it is, foreign direct investments and loans. And financial account, it is containing changes in reserves. So now balance of payments, they have, explained in this slide, a record of all economic transactions between a country and rest of the world. Now component description example, trade account, in trade account, goods, exports, imports will come. India software exports to the US, this entry will come in trade account. Current account, services will come, services like tourism, remittances, unilateral transfers, they will come in this current account. For example, Indian workers remittance from UAE. Indian worker, they are working in UAE, they are sending money to their family in India. So that amount will come in this particular account. Then capital account, foreign direct investment, portfolio, investment. What do you mean a portfolio investments? Portfolio means suppose you are having shares, you are having investment in bank, you are having investment in mutual fund, you are having investment in, life insurance. So this is your portfolio. All these investments together are, it is your portfolio. So foreign direct investments, portfolio investments, and loans, they will come in this capital account. Toyota's factories investment in India. How much Toyota factory has invested in India? That will come in the capital account. Next is financial account, changes in foreign reserves, like gold, SDRs. Now RBI is US dollar reserves management, that amount will come in this financial account. So we have studied four types of account: trade account, current account, capital account, financial account. So in trade account, you see exports and imports, you see transactions amount will come. Then in current account, services, tourism, remittances, unilateral transfers, you see this amount will come. Example is Indian workers remittance from UAE, Indian workers who are working, who are earning money in Dubai, so they send regular money to their family. That amount will come in this current account. Now India's software exports to United States, that amount will come in trade account. Then capital account means Toyota factories investment in India. Toyota factory has invested money in their factory in India. That amount will come in capital account. Then financial account, you see RBI's US dollar reserves management, you see that amount will come in financial account. Now, foreign exchange market, forex market, you see, the forex market facilitates, you see, currency exchange and is divided into the spot market, immediate transactions at current rates, immediate transactions, you see, whatever is the price, buy or sell. Then forward market, future contracts to, you see, lock in rates. You have, you see, agreed for a transaction which is going to take place after 6 months. And derivatives markets, futures, options, and swaps. Under derivatives market, futures, options, and swaps. Major participants include commercial banks, then corporations, then central banks. Central bank, each country is having commercial banks and one central bank. But central bank is controlling all the commercial banks of that country. Then, for example, an Indian exporter might use forward contracts to hedge against US dollar depreciation. You see, ensuring predictable revenue. So after 6 months, the transaction is going to take place, but he is fixing the rate right now, so that if it will further reduce, he will, you see, he will lose money. So the forex market operates 24/7 with the interbank market serving as the care platform for large scale, you see, currency trades. So the forex market facilitates currency exchange and is divided into the spot market, immediate transactions of, you see, current rates, forward market, future contracts to lock in rates, and derivatives market. In derivatives market, futures, options, and swaps will come. Major participants include commercial banks, that is Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, then corporations hedging forex risk, and central banks. Each country is having a central bank which is controlling all the banks of that country, stabilizing currencies. For example, an Indian exporter might use forward contract, you see, to hedge against US dollar depreciation. So he will fix the rate right now that for the transaction which is going to take place after 6 months, so that if US dollar is depreciated, he may not lose money. Ensuring predictable, you see, revenue. The forex market operates 24/7 with the interbank market serving as the core platform for large scale currency, you see, trades. Foreign exchange market, forex, key players are, you see, commercial banks, just now we have seen, that is Hong Kong Shanghai Bank, Citibank, State Bank of India. Then corporations hedging forex risk. Then central banks, each country is having a central bank which is controlling all the commercial banks of that country. Bankers bank, central bank is bankers bank. Like in our country, it is Reserve Bank of India. Central bank intervention to stabilize currency. You see, now examples are an Indian exporter uses forward contracts to hedge against US, you see, dollar depreciation. Exchange risk management. Currency fluctuations pose risks to international businesses, necessitating hedging strategies. Full hedging minimizes the risk by covering all exposures but offers low returns, while selective hedging balances risk and reward by covering only critical exposures. Speculative, you see, strategies involve high risk bets on currency movements for potentially high, you see, rewards. What is the meaning of speculation? One is gambling, you see. Now lottery is a gambling. You invest money today, after the result, you see whether you will win or lose. Then there is, you see, you will find, you see, some people buy shares, you know, they are just waiting for the price to rise and they will sell it. Their purpose is not an investment. They want to only, you see, make money if the price increases. That is speculation. So currency fluctuations, you see, pose risks to international businesses, necessitating hedging strategies. Full hedging minimizes risk by covering all exposures but offers low returns, while selective hedging balances risk and reward by covering only critical exposures. Speculative strategies involve high risk bets on currency movements for potentially high rewards. Tools like forward contracts, customized over the counter agreements, futures, standardized exchange traded contracts, and options, flexible rights to buy and sell help manage these risks. For instance, Apple uses currency swaps to mitigate euro, Japanese yen volatility, protecting its profits margin. So tools like forward contracts, customized over the counter agreements, futures, standardized exchange traded contracts, and options, flexible rights to buy and sell help manage these risks. For instance, Apple Inc. uses currency swaps to mitigate euro, Japanese yen volatility, protecting its profits margin. Now, hedging strategies are strategy risk reward. Example, full hedging, low risk, low reward. Hedging 100% of exposure via futures. Selective hedging, moderate risk, reward. Hedging only 50% of exposure. Speculative, high risk, high reward, betting on currency appreciation. So hedging strategies are full hedging, selective hedging, speculative. Under full hedging, low risk, low reward, hedging 100% of exposure via futures. Selective hedging, moderate risk reward, hedging only 50% of exposure. Speculative hedging, high risk, high reward, betting on currency, appreciation. Foreign investment, FDI. Foreign investment comes in two forms: foreign direct investment, FDI, and foreign portfolio investment, FDI. FDI involves long-term investments like greenfield projects, that is Tesla's Gigafactory in Germany, or mergers and acquisitions, that is Walmart's purchase of Flipkart. FPI includes short-term investments in stocks, bonds, that is FIIs in Indian equities. FDI benefits host countries through job creation and technology transfer, that is Samsung in Vietnam, while home countries gain from profit repatriation, that is US firms in China. However, overlands on foreign direct investment can be risky, as seen in Venezuela's oil dependent economy. Terms of payment in international trade. International trade relies on secure payment methods, each with varying risk levels. Payment in advance is safest for exporters, but risk for importers, often used by high value goods like machinery, letters of credit. LC governed by UCP DC 600 rules. LC is governed by UCP DC 600 rules. They are revised recently. Balance risk by involving banks to guarantee payment upon document submission, documentary collection. DP means documents against payment. DA means documents against acceptance. Offer moderate risk, while open accounts are risky for exporters but convenient for trusted partners. Terms of payment in international trade are, for example, an Indian pharma exporter might use a confirmed letter of credit to ensure payment from a new African buyer, reducing non-payment risk. What is LC? Letter of credit means the importer's bank. Writes to exporter's bank that if the export is done as per the terms, then we take the guarantee of the payment. So the moment the exporter's bank informs this to exporter, he starts production because now he is sure of the payment. So key terms are, this LCs are governed by UCP DC 600, ICC rules governing letter of credit. Then SWIFT, it is messages are transferred by the SWIFT machine. SWIFT network for secure LC, transmission, messages are transmitted. Now, payment methods, method risk to exporter, risk to importer. Example, payment in advance, risk to exporter, low, risk to importer, high, 50% advance for custom machinery. Letter of credit, risk to exporter is medium, risk to importer is low. Example is irrevocable, which cannot be revoked, LC for textile exports. Documentary collection, high, risk to exporter against documents against acceptance. Risk to importer, medium, against documents against payment. Then documents against payment for automotive parts. Then open account, very high risk is there to exporter, low risk is there to importer. Trusted partners. Now, international finance is a multifaceted field covering global financial systems, exchange rate mechanisms, risk management, and trade payments. The IMF and World Bank play pivotal roles in maintaining stability, while the forex market enables seamless currency exchange. Balance of payments tracks a country's economic health, and hedging strategies protect business, you see, from currency risks. Foreign direct investment and FPI, you see, drive global growth but require careful regulation. Finally, trade payment methods like letter of credit and advance payments ensure secure transactions. Understanding these concepts is essential for navigating the complexities of global finance, from mitigating risk to capitalizing an international, you see, on international opportunities. So, students, we are closing this session. Thank you very much, students. Thank you very much.